Hello, how's everybody doing? Let's see who's up, who's going to join me tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about clarity. It's Dr. Melva. If you're catching me on the replay, push hashtag replay. It's Sunday night, Labor Day weekend. All right, let's get into it. This is my nightly hat. I have been cleaning up, actually, like creating Goodwill bags and trash cans in the kids' room upstairs. Whew, it's some work. For those of you just joining me, welcome. I'm Dr. Melva, your board-certified radiation oncologist, and I help breast cancer patients live their most vibrant, healthiest lives post-cancer treatment. And I do that through my online coaching programs. But tonight, I'm coming to you to talk about clarity. So welcome. Thanks for joining. Let me know when you're here. Say, what's up? How are you doing? Let me know where you're calling in from, if you're in the U.S. or international. I was showing the other night, this is another piece I got from the Latote, the little, the rental. What do you think? It's not bad. What would you wear with this? I'm working on fashion because I never really focused on it before. So it's like this blue-gray, light blue. I don't know if you can see it. So anyway, all right, we'll see who joins me and we'll just keep going. So, all right. So I have all my little rental pieces, and again, this is night hair and the hat because I don't want to do it. So anyway. All right, so the quote I started with is that pain will push you until vision pulls you. And one of the reasons that just stood out to me, I was listening, I think, to a podcast. I don't know the author, someone quoted somebody else. But that pushed me so much because I experienced so much pain and reason for going around the concept of clarity. So who's heard the word clarity before? You're clear in purpose. You understand what clarity means. Who has gotten stuck around your clarity. Let's talk about it, okay? But I want you to remember the reason I'm talking about this is that quote, and I want you to write that down and think about it. Pain will push you until vision pulls you. And believe me, when you are in the vision pulling mode, it is so much more powerful than pain. And normally, when you look at marketing, etc., they say that, pleasure versus pain, that people will react versus pain over pleasure. But when you're looking at vision pulling you versus pain pushing you, I'm telling you, the vision is strong. It's like a force when you get into that flow of vision, if anybody knows what I'm talking about. All right, so clarity. So clarity is when you know what you want and how to go get it. I love that. How to go get it. How many people have been stuck about knowing what you want or not knowing what you want and wanting to go get it? Or as a matter of fact, as a matter of fact, I don't know what Facebook's asking me, but as a matter of fact, I know a lot of people are stuck because you want to go get it, but you don't really know what you want. And that's a problem of clarity. So let's talk about clarity a little bit more. Thank you for joining. Let me know you're here. Thank you for watching. Welcome. Hashtag replay if you catch me on the replay. So clarity is when you know what you want and how to go get it. Those are two different things. You have to know what you want and how to go get it. So that would lead you to the question of, well, what do you want, right? So if you find yourself busy doing all these things, whether it's an entrepreneur or whether you're getting up, going to work every day, dropping the kids off, paying the bills every month, and you're in this cycle of go, but you don't know what you want and how you're going to go get it because you're just kind of in this monotonous circle, I want you to think about clarity. So when I started looking at the concept of clarity, when I was doing different things, whether it was being a mom, being a doctor, being an entrepreneur, being a network marketer, whatever it was that I was doing at the time, people just kind of kept asking me the same question. It was like, well, what do you want? And I'm like, well, what do you mean? I'm in this course, I'm in this job, I'm doing this. What do you mean? What do I want? And I really had to start thinking about it. And then the answer of, I don't know, it's not really cool to have an I don't know and keep going because you will get stuck and you will have problems. And then not only when people ask you what you want or you ask yourself what you want around clarity, saying I don't know isn't a good tip. And then saying tell me, no, that doesn't work either. And I know it sounds so silly now, but I remember having one of these conversations with one of my coaches and mentors, and I'm like, well, I don't know. What should I want? And can you tell me? No. Part of clarity is that you choose, you decide what you want and how you're going to go get it. And for some, it can be really quick. You can get clear, or you might have been born with 100% clarity. For others of us, the journey is longer. Probably took me about 3 years, and this is all very recent, probably within the last 6 months to 1.5 years, that I've gotten much more clarity of what it is that I want and how to go about getting it. So it can be a long journey for some people like me, but don't give up, don't quit. Okay, so what does it look like when you don't have clarity? All right, let me know if you're getting value. Thank you so much for joining. Thanks for joining. How's everybody doing tonight? We're talking about clarity. And the quote, if you're just joining, is pain will push you until vision pulls you, okay? And a lot of that has to do with your clarity. So without clarity, these are some of the things that may have happened to you. So 1, it just may be hard to complete some of the tasks that you start. Number 2, you may be unsure of who is in your corner and who to trust without clarity. Number 3, you may find yourself spending money on things that you don't need, or you may get really excited to buy like the next best thing. You may have a lot of that FOMO, like fear of missing out. Does that sound cool now? So that's what it looks like without clarity in your life. Just some examples that I've had or that I've seen. So with clarity, let me tell you on the other side, like once you have clarity, this is what your life can look like. Ease. Does anybody know about ease in your life? Like ease, like for example, having this top that I already had picked out and had to find it, it was ease, okay? Getting through a child's room with some organization and like being able to walk without toys all over the place, ease, okay? But ease is at a different level when you have clarity in your life. And again, for those of you just joining me, clarity is when you know what you want and you know how to go and get it. All right, I just love that, how to go and get it. Because I get excited when I know like what I want and how to go get it, because without it, it's tough. Okay, so these are the three things that you have with clarity. So 1, ease. 2 is attraction, all right? So welcome. Thanks for joining. So 2 is attraction. And what do I mean by attraction? What I mean by attraction is that when you have clarity, so you know what you want and you know how to get it, you start attracting people, things, objects, activity that are aligned with your focus of where you want to be, right? It just shows up, you know, and some of that is definitely divine, as I'm a believer. But others of it is that, you know, the whole saying that what you focus on, you find, you know, what you work towards, you get more of. So when you have clarity, and it's very like easy for other people to see what you're doing, what you want. And then that attraction just starts happening where people are coming in that path of focus that you're working on, okay? And you're not going to get that if you don't have clarity, because if you're like brand everything and people don't know like what you're doing, the forces, the opportunity, whatever it is, whether you're in business like I am as an entrepreneur, or whether you're, you know, in your job and you're looking for a promotion, whatever it is that you're doing, that attraction comes when you have clarity. Okay, so with clarity, you get ease. Number 2, you get attraction. And number 3, you get completion. So those tasks that you used to try to start before you were clear, you didn't have that clarity, you didn't know what you wanted and how to go get it, you finish those, right? And when you find yourself finishing more tasks and more completion, you end up doing more. So it's almost this, like on my notes, I have completion/elevation, okay? So when you elevate what you're reaching for, and you do that by slowly completing more tasks because you're clear in what you want and you know how to get it, you're elevating. And that elevation, when you have clarity, welcome, thanks for joining. That elevation, when you have clarity, is something that is just like, it's like the strength that I was talking about in the quote, that pain pushes you until that vision pulls you. You're in that vision pulling you when you have this elevation. So what does elevation look like? Let me give you an example of something that like elevates me. And this is probably far-fetching, but it's Sunday night, right? Tomorrow's a holiday. I hope you guys have great plans. If you have to go to work, I hope you're blessed and grateful and loving what you do in your job. If not, I hope you're working on a plan to get out of it. You've seen what I've done. If you're interested in what I do as an entrepreneur for financial opportunities, hit me up on the direct message. I will answer you. But let me give you an example of a dream that like I got so excited about today, and I was like, what am I doing? But this excited me because we've had this property that's down the street from us. Like, so welcome. Thanks for joining. We've had this property that's down the street from us. And I didn't really know how big it was. I kind of looked at it. I've talked about, we've done real estate investing before, not our super focus right now. We're more into commercial. I guess it's commercial. And I saw the sign go up. And you know, like any what do you call it, bird dogs, or anybody who's done real estate where like you're watching the houses that need to be fixed up. This is like this large house that has a boarded door, but they kept the grass cut like all the time. And we happened to look on the city map. We're in Virginia. And we happened to look on the city map and we saw that it was a lot. I thought it was like 60 acres or whatever. Well, it's 117 and the sign went up, right? So we were coming back from church and I was like, ooh, 117 acres. Like, this is what I'm talking about with elevation. I'm not looking at, my 40 acres and a mule. I'm not trying to figure out how to pay $100 bill. I'm not looking at, thinking about like the one person I've been talking to about one idea. I'm talking about impacting like millions and hundreds of thousands. I'm talking about when you have clarity, meaning you know what you want and you know how to get it, you can elevate your thoughts and that vision pulls you. So like that excited me, right? So I'm like, oh gosh, 117 acres is for sale in this commercial with this house that we've been watching. How exciting would that be? Like we were watching this other one that was about like 9 or 10 acres, and we were kind of thinking about some of the developments and how neat, that would be to do some of that development. And then the 117 came up. That's when you have to have your vision pulling you. That's the type of example, and that's just for me, of things that get you excited, right? Like, who is getting excited, and you don't get excited about everything, right? Because I now have clarity, and I know, again, if you're just joining me, thanks for joining. Clarity is when you know what you want and you know how you're going to go get it. So I hope that's helped you. And again, just to wrap up for those of you just joining me, the quote I started with and what made me just think to come on here tonight and share this as I've been cleaning and going through this kid's stuff. I mean, I've had stuff that I had when I was pregnant, and Nadia just turned 10. So that was like from 11 years ago. It's time to go to a new home. But anyway, it just took a lot. But pain will push you until vision pulls you. And when you get in that vision pulling space, that flow, there's nothing that's going to stop you. But I promise you, you won't get there until you have clarity. You won't. And clarity is when you know what you want and how to go get it. So without clarity, it's going to be hard to complete some tasks. You're going to be unsure of who's in your corner, who you can trust, whose team you're supposed to be on. You're going to probably spend money on things you don't need, courses that you're going to buy and you may never look at. You're going to have fear of missing out and look at the next best thing. But when you have clarity, you're going to get ease in your life. Ease and flow. You're going to have attraction. You're going to get attraction to the things, opportunities, people, organizations, locations, travel, whatever it is you want, that's going to come in your life. And 3, completion and elevation. With clarity, you will start to elevate and that vision will start to pull you. So that's what I got for tonight. I hope it helps somebody today, because I wish I would have heard and understood these things as a teenager. And I'm sure that I had some of them to be successful, but I didn't understand it to the level that I do now. But clarity caused me a lot of pain. And again, if you're just joining, it took me years to get into that clarity. And I used to think I could ask other people. It's not going to work. I used to think that I could just make a decision that this is what it would be. It's not going to work. You have to go through it. Okay. You have to fall down and get up and still be standing, right? So I pray that each of you finds clarity, or you go on your journey to get clarity so that you know what you want and how you're going to go out there and get it. Until next time, I'm Dr. Melva. Y'all have a good night. Bye.